Okay. So what are the different types of clouds based on this service? Can someone tell me?
Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service.
Oh, yeah. So there are three types: infrastructure as a service, that is called IaaS. Okay. Second is PaaS, platform as a service, and third is software as a service. Okay. So these are the classification of cloud based on the service model. Okay. So what happens in infrastructure as a cloud? So in infrastructure as a cloud, what basically happens is now you get full access to the server. Okay. Since we know that when it comes to cloud, we don't have access at the hardware level. Okay. Hardware and data centers are being managed by the cloud providers only. Okay. But when it comes to infrastructure as a service model in cloud, okay, we won't be having access at the hardware level, but what comes next? Server level access comes next. So we will have full access at the server level. Okay. So we can create our own server. Okay. We will get the hardware, and on top of the hardware only we are installing the server OS version. Okay. Server OS to run on any application. Okay. So we have the authority to install our own server, like whichever server we want. Like suppose if we want to run Windows Server 2016, 19, 22, 25, it depends on us. Okay. So it gives this infrastructure as a service cloud model gives us the flexibility of installing our own server. Okay. So we will be having the access at the server level. Okay, we can install our own server, we can run our own application. So at the server level, we can troubleshoot, we can change anything. So we have access from the server level. Okay, and infrastructure as a cloud. Okay, so what next? When it comes to platform as a service. So what do you think? What will happen over here? So here we don't, as opposed to the IaaS, okay, as opposed to IaaS, we don't get access at server level. Okay, here we have more restriction when it comes to access. Okay, we don't have the access at the server level. Server is pre-configured over here. Okay, so from Azure and only they are pre-configuring the server, and they are giving you the platform to install or run the application. Okay. Okay. So what happens in platform as a service? You won't have the access at the hardware level. Hardware level will not be there for any cloud service model. Okay. But here your server level access is also gone. Okay. So you will only get pre-configured server will be there, but that will be pre-configured and you won't be having any access to change anything at the server level. If you want to run some Java application, you will get a pre-configured platform to run your Java application. That's it. Okay. You won't get any server or something like that. Okay. So this happens at the platform as a service in platform as a service cloud model. So what next? We have software as a service. So what do you think will happen in software as a service model? So in software as a service model, you don't get any access. Okay, you don't get any access. Everything will be managed by Azure. Okay, server, the platform to run the application, everything is managed by Azure. So what do you get here? You simply get the application one. You simply get the application only based on your requirement, based on your requirement. You can purchase the software and use them and use them. So here what happens now, if suppose you need a messaging service application, okay, your requirement is like in our organization, we need, or you can say mailing service application. Okay, you want all the employees to have a mail communication between them. Okay, you want all your employees to have a mail communication, or you can say messaging conversation, or you can say like if they want to share some file, so for that you need some application. So you won't get the server to build the application, you won't get the platform to run the application. Here you will get the application only. Okay, for suppose mailing service, you will get Outlook. Okay, so in Outlook, you must have seen in your organization also, if you have got the access of Outlook, you are not doing anything. Your server team or your Azure team is not doing anything. Everything is built on the Microsoft server, okay, Microsoft data center, and we will get the application directly. If you use Teams, Microsoft Teams, okay, so for that also, you need to pay the Microsoft some amount. You need to subscribe to the application, and based on the subscription, you need to pay the Microsoft. Okay, you can't, you must have observed like you cannot customize anything in Teams. Whatever is there, okay, if the Microsoft updates it, okay, it will be updated for everyone, for all the organizations. But you can't change the Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Outlook from your end. Okay, so what do you think? Which service model is good? IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS? What do you think? Can someone tell me? Let's start with Rameshri.
IAS.
Okay, Rameshri, can you tell me?
Uh, Actually, IAS is a good platform for who is starting the new businesses because it will provide all the infrastructure and what we are want as our requirement we can use that service, and platform as a service is also good one because we will
Okay.
just pay for the subscription and we can use already existed software like for example Netflix and all. uh,
So, like all the platform, all the service models are good. What I understood is like all the
yes,
service models are good. It is just that what is our requirement? Okay. If we
yes
want
sir.
server level access, okay, if we want to configure each and everything at the server level, if our requirement is like that, so we can go for infrastructure as a service model. Okay, so here we can, like if we want to make some changes at the OS level only, so we can do that. Okay, But suppose if we don't want that headache of maintaining the server and hiring the server administration team and doing the uh, like uh, for building the application, we don't want that much of headache. Okay, to build the server and everything, we can go for platform as a service. Okay, that will here we will get a platform only and we can simply start running our application. Okay, and if we don't want even s- what you can say, uh like a little bit of headache also, so we can simply purchase the application only and we can simply pay the Microsoft on a monthly basis. We don't need to maintain anything, we don't need to configure anything, we don't need to troubleshoot anything from our end. Okay, everything is will be taken care by Microsoft Azure only. Okay, we will get the built-in application. Based on the built-in application, we can start using those applications. Okay, so it depends on our used cases. You can't say like IAS is bad or SAS is bad or PAS is good, something like that. Okay, it depends on organization to organization. But I am telling you mostly, okay, mostly organizations will go for all the three services. Okay, they won't rely on one type of service model. They will take some uh, services based on IAS model, some services based on PAS model, and some services based on SAS model. Like for messaging, for mailing, they will take Microsoft 365. Okay, they don't want to invest so much on building this server and everything for messaging and mailing thing. Okay, but suppose if there is some data security issue, okay, they don't want their data to be directly shared to the cloud. Okay, so they then go for IaaS service. Okay, where they build in their own servers. Where because when you are building the server, na, you can configure each and everything. Security thing you can configure, monitoring thing you can configure from your end. You can configure the backup of the server. So each and every granular thing, whatever can happen, na, you can configure from your end. And if you are configuring something from your end, if any issue happens, you know, like what is my current configuration, and if some misconfiguration or if some issue arises, since you are aware of your configuration, you can fix that. Okay, but in SAS, na, it you will have to solely depend on the Microsoft only. Okay, so this can be disadvantageous, okay, for SaaS service. So mostly organization don't prefer, okay, one model only. Based on their requirement, they go for the models. Okay, so if suppose they want to run some application and they just need a platform, okay, they don't want the headache of maintaining the server for that particular application, so they will go for PaaS service. Okay, if they want to build everything from the scratch, if they want everything under their control, okay, so they will go for IaaS service. Okay, so what happens mostly is now, if suppose the organization, if the organization is IT related now, like Infosys, Cognizant, Wipro, which is like IT based organization now, they will mostly go for IaaS service. Okay, because they are IT organization, they have huge employee base of server administration, Azure administration. Though, so they already have the employees with them, so they can ask their employees to build the whole ecosystem, IT ecosystem on the cloud. Okay, but if suppose if there is a startup and the startup is based on some other domain, if it is a healthcare domain or like some other domain, so they don't have the IT employees with them. Okay, so they mostly na they don't want to take the these headaches. Okay, so they directly go to the Microsoft Azure, and whatever the application they require, they directly purchase the application only based on the subscription, and they pay monthly. Okay, so they have the benefit of like eliminating this uh, like building the server and maintaining the server and managing the server thing. Okay, so based it is always based on the requirement and the used cases and what is the preference of the organization. It depends on organization to organization. You can't say like like this is the good model or that is the bad model. Everything is based on the requirement and the organization. Okay. Yeah. So I just want you all to like after the session, just write one advantage of IAS and one disadvantage of IAS. Similarly, you can write one advantage of PAS and disadvantage of PAS, and similarly, you can go for SAS also. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I just want to show you one diagram also, like which is like if I show you the differences between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, cloud computing. So they will see, we will have one diagram over here. See, in infrastructure as a service now, see what is managed by the cloud provider? Networking, storage, servers, and virtualization. Up to this, okay, hardware and the configuration of the hardware. Okay, till here, till this layer is managed by vendor, means Azure or AWS. And after that, OS, operating system. From operating system, you can manage everything. You can configure the operating system, middleware, data, applications, everything can be managed by you. Okay. And in PaaS, C, you just have to manage the data and the application. That's it. And in SaaS, C, everything is being managed by vendor only. You will just get the application and you can start using the application. That's it. So you need to know this diagram. Okay. If you want, I will share. Okay. I will share you later. Okay. And mm, okay. So now first, okay, so we have discussed what is cloud computing, what was the scenario before cloud computing and after cloud computing. We also discussed about the cloud models based on the service and the deployments. Now we will start our first service. Okay, first service that is offered by the cloud. Okay, so what is we will start with compute service first, and then we'll discuss the other services. Okay. So what do you mean by compute? Can someone tell me? Ashwini, can you tell me? I will try to like ask everyone. Okay.
In cloud computing, compute means processing power used to run applications. like website, software, CPU.
Yeah,
That's it.
true. Yeah, yeah. Basically, now compute service means if suppose if you have to run a application, okay. So for that application, you need hardware, you need an operating system. Okay, these are the requirements if you have to run any application. Okay, so in compute services, you are getting all these things. Okay, hardware requirement, suppose your requirement is 16 GB of RAM. So you will get 16 GB of RAM. If suppose if you require four virtual CPUs, okay, so you will get that as well. If suppose if your requirement is 256 GB or 1 TB of hard drive or solid state drive, okay. So to run any application, we need a set of hardware configurations and an operating system as well. Okay. So whatever is your requirement to run an application, your requirement will be fulfilled by this compute service. Okay. It provides you processor, RAM, CPU, memory, database, operating system it provides. Okay, operating system means you can take Windows servers, different edition. You can also take a Linux server edition. So based on your requirement, you will get all the essential tools to run any application or the software. Okay. So can someone, yeah, now Susma, can you tell me the examples of compute service?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, Susma.
Examples of complete service like Netflix.
Netflix.
Uh,
Your voice is little low actually, Susma.
Netflix is primarily like SaaS application for consumers.
Yeah, Netflix is a different thing, Susma. Okay, that is a different thing. So when it comes to compute service now, we have like suppose we are building our own physical machine. Okay, how we are building our physical machine? By purchasing the hardware, and uh, once we purchase the hardware now, we can install the operating system on top of the hardware. So we will get our own physical machine, and on that physical machine we can run any application. Okay. Similarly, what this Azure and AWS is providing us is now we are not getting the physical machine. When I say physical machine, what what does it mean? It means that we are able to use that machine, and that machine is like live, okay, in front of us, in front of our eyes. Okay, but Azure is providing us, yeah, the thing is now with Zoom, the meeting will be for 40 minutes and then you will have to rejoin again if the meeting ends. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So when it comes to compute service, if you require all of these things now, how will you get? You will get through virtual machine. You won't get a physical machine, you will get a virtual machine. Okay. So what is this virtual machine? Virtual machine means you will get each and everything, whatever there is there on your physical machine, RAM, CPU, memory, database, operating system. Okay, whatever is your requirement, you will get, but that machine you will get virtually, okay, over the internet. That's why it is called virtual machine. Okay, you cannot touch that virtual machine. and that machine is not physically available in front of you. Okay, so that machine is provided to you virtually. Okay, so that's why it is called virtual machine. In AWS, it is called EC2. Okay, so both are same. Don't get confused. It's just that naming conventions are different in Azure and AWS and GCP also. Okay, the computes the services will remain same for both the cloud providers. It's just that the naming conventions will differ. So firstly, we'll try to concentrate on Azure only, otherwise unnecessarily you people will get confused. Okay, so let's concentrate on Azure, because Azure is like a good cloud to learn at the start, and then we just need to see the naming conventions used in AWS. Okay, so then we will cover both the clouds. Okay, so virtual machine you can create. Okay, if you require compute service from Azure, so you can create a virtual machine. So why do we require compute service to run our applications? We require the servers, we require the hardwares. Okay, so how do we get that? We get that through virtual machine. So now can someone tell me whether these virtual machines, we have discussed about three service models in Azure. One is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So what do you think, which type of model is this virtual machine?
IaaS, infrastructure as a service.
Yeah, good Ramesh. Yeah, it comes under IAS, because as I have told you, you need to remember the wordings also which I'm using. Okay, so the thing is like here I told you, you will get the server, you will get the OS, you will get the data, you will get the OS disk, you will get the data disk, you will get the memory, you will get the RAM, you will get CPU, processors, everything. So everything is under your control. Okay, so this comes under infrastructure as a service. So what if we want to use compute service, but we want to go for platform as a service? Do we have an option? Yeah, we have an option. Okay, so we can go for app service. Okay, what is the service name? App service. So this comes under platform as a service. Okay, so what does this app service do? It basically provides you a platform wherein you can run your applications. Okay, if suppose if you want to run your Java applications, it will provide you a platform. Okay, Java application platform. If you want to run a Python application, you will be provided a different platform. Okay, but for each and every type of application, now there will be a app service plan. Okay, you just need to take that app service plan and you need to start running your application on that app service. Okay, so yeah, and we have another that is called Kubernetes. Okay, this is like another thing. Kubernetes also is a type of compute service. Okay, so now tell me. So we will firstly focus on virtual machines. Okay, what is virtual machine? How to create a virtual machine? Okay, what are the different options that we have within our virtual machine? So we will learn them first, then we will go for the app service. Okay, then we'll see the app services. So if I go for the virtual machine definition, if you want, you can, because this might be asked in the interviews. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. So a virtual machine is a physical emulation of a physical computer system. Computer system. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So what basically happens is now I will show you one example also. Okay. So that now you get some idea. I won't be able to show off Windows, but I will try to show you of Linux. Okay. So what happens if suppose if you want to build a physical machine, you require all the things. You need to purchase hardware, you need to install servers and everything. But what if you want to have the machine also and you don't want to purchase all of these equipments also, you don't want to invest that much, so you can go to cloud providers and you can simply create a virtual machine. Once once that virtual machine is created, okay, you can go to Azure and create a virtual machine, and once that virtual machine is created now, you will be able to do all the steps that you are currently doing in your physical system. Like I can watch movies, I can use this paint, I can like use this zoom. So whatever features that we are using on the physical system now, the same thing that we can use on the virtual machine also. So it is basically a physical emulation of a physical computer system. Okay. So, do you guys have any doubts till now?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So, I think the session will get disconnected in 1 minute. So, yeah, I will show you how to like not on Azure, okay, but I will show how this virtual machine runs. Okay, because now we don't have the Azure subscription now. I will show you through some other platform. Okay, Linux, one virtual machine I will show you now. Okay, when we'll start our Azure session, then obviously because we need to learn everything on the Azure platform only. But for today, we'll try on some other cloud provider. This is also LabX is also a cloud provider only, which is providing the services. Okay, so it will provide services like it will also provide you virtual machines. Okay, so let's see how to create a virtual machine on this LabX platform. Okay, let's see. I think the session will get disconnected. So join using the same link. Okay, it has.
Okay, sir.
Okay.